Yo, you already know who it is. Bruh, me goes podcast. Back again, weekly episodes, how we doing it. We bringing it to y'all. And this week, we got a full show again. Bronny James, preseason. Him, his teammate, Dalton Connect. How did they do? Uh, Michael Ealy, swinging, making good around like a Pantene commercial. Got to talk about that. Shakur Stevenson versus Cam and Mase, the battle that he can never win. Uh, Jalen Brunson, take the money, boy.
Take that money.
And also MLB and some NFL stuff for you guys today. Bro Amigos podcast. Hit our goddamn music.
Bruh.
And come on now, Rob. We gotta start.
What up,
Bronny James, preseason.
Ronnie?
What did you think? Small 3 game sample. What did you think of this so far, bro?
That it's that just like you said, small 3 game sample. Now, granted, like people have been very critical about everything that has gone on. Like people have acted like LeBron James Jr. LeBron, I think his middle name's Ramon. Let's look at that. LeBron Ramon. Let's say it's Ramon James Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Facts don't matter. Um, they're acting like this man is not a grown ass man. So if you guys haven't seen LeBron, like Bronny basically hasn't had a great start. I think he scored like 8 points or something like that altogether. He hasn't shot well, hasn't made a three
Yeah.
yet. Uh, it just hasn't worked out yet so far. So like, it's but the thing is, he's a guy that basically has been in the summer league for all of what, a week, two
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
He's played 3 games. Like he just basically is just still coming into his own. He's the 55th pick for a reason. He's not setting the world on fire, but he's just starting. Like, why is it to where people are getting such heartburn? Like, why is LeBron James Jr. trying to sit this pipe dream and doing this and that? And it's just like, this man probably wanted to go to the league. He probably didn't want to stay at USC. And it could have been he probably just didn't feel like going to classes anymore. Shit. Like, not everybody wants to go to college. Like everybody wants to stay in college. And so he's like, look, I got an avenue to basically be in the NBA. I can go play with my dad just for a little while until my dad stops playing, essentially, and then go on with my life after. Like, he probably lives in his own crib, probably has his own life, but everybody's like, he lives under the same roof. This money all goes to him. It goes to their family. It's like, it probably don't go to a pot. It probably goes to him. But people are so fixated on the way that they want to see LeBron James Jr.'s life and not necessarily look at or think that it could be different than how they see it. And so I don't quite understand it, but people all up in arms and getting heartburn about it, and that's just what it is. But he looks like just going to what I've seen, like the handful of minutes that I've seen of him, he looks like a very bouncy guard. Looks like he's gonna be nice defensively. Um, he's gonna basically score here and there, but not expected to. And hell, you could probably get some all defensive, nods or whatever, like by just doing that. Like people brought up the example of Gary Payton Jr., how he stayed in the league and like just fitting a niche and fitting within a team. That's probably might be the best thing for him.
Right.
Having something that you can bring to a team that's going to help them excel and get them into a championship, atmosphere. That might be his route. That might be something that's best for him. But to think that he needed to go back to USC for that to basically happen, I mean, I would say that in my opinion, even though I'm contradicting myself, he probably should have went back to USC just to play with kids his age. But if he's playing against adults, that's fine too. Because as we've seen with the NBA draft, a lot of the cats that went in the first round were 16-year-olds that were playing with men. Luca presently just was one of those cats too. He went pro at 16. So if he wants to develop amongst grown men to play in a grown man league, I have no problem with that.
At
And
all.
if that's what he wants to do, cool. But I have no fucking clue, and neither do you. And so we need to basically think about that. And honestly, gotta have a little shut the fuck up right now, okay? A bit spring. Shut fuck up on there, okay?
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to like go full in. You ain't gotta take the top off and just dump the shut the fuck up in there, but just have some sprinkle shut the fuck up, okay? Let some shit ride. It's
dash.
okay. We can do it
The
as a
dash.
team, as a family. We can shut the fuck up together, just so people can live their lives just a little bit. All right.
Yeah. We can do that. He's had a preseason high so far. 8 points. He was 3 or 14. He still hasn't hit a
That's what it
three.
was.
Yeah, still hasn't hit a three. Got a couple steals, a couple turnovers. He's averaging like 3.5 rebounds. It's summer league, guys. We won't know how this plays out till A, he hits the court, and B, he continues to develop. He might still have some growth in him. He's only like 6'1", something like that. You never know. He might still have some growth in him. We've had guys
Yeah.
come in 18, 19 and then continue to grow. Um and as long as I feel like he stays ready and he does what he needs to do, he'll be all right.
Yep.
He'll be all right. That's for sure. And I'm fine with it. Just as long as he knows that everybody's cool with it. Hey, let him do what he needs to do. Um, Now outside of that, eh, we just waiting. It's a waiting thing. And a lot of y'all are like, oh, he's not meant for the league. He's gonna be all right, bro. He's gonna be
Gonna be
just
just
fine.
fine. Just fine. Like if he basically spends some time in the league and just basically rides it out, has plays for like maybe a team or two, I say that's a success.
Yeah, yeah, and he's gonna be fine. Now moving on with that one. So I know a lot of y'all pay attention to social media. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Rob, what was the
So
first thing went through your mind whenever this man Michael Ealy picked up Megan Good and was swinging her around like we was watching a Black Pantene commercial live in action?
Jonathan Majors, I'm so sorry. Because the thing about it is, like, people talked about the Drewski skit where, like, he's sitting down, it's his lady's birthday, and then a good friend of hers come up, and it's just like all just emotional, and it just got to do all this stuff, and he's like, man, like, all right, bruh, all right, bruh, all right, bruh. Like, we cats have been in those situations,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's just that I want to do something. I don't necessarily like what this is. It's not all that bad, but it's something that I ain't really fucking with. And I think that like with Michael Ealy and Jonathan, this is one. Hey, I'm not gonna overstep. You not gonna overstep, and we ain't gonna overstep together. And so it's when it comes to the thing of like, damn, like you just gonna do that like right in front of the company, like we had a fucking premiere, and I know I get it. You might not have seen her for a while, but like come on, dog. Like I gotta come back to these streets. I gotta basically be out here. Like what you doing to me, man? Like what we ain't helping each other. We supposed to be brothers. The wood. Like we supposed to be doing all this shit together. And now you doing this to me? Not to her. Not to her. She's fine. You see her. To me, black man. We need to help each other, black man. Like, what are you doing? Help
Yeah,
me. Help
yeah.
me. Damn.
Look, that shit look bad, man. Look bad. It just
It
look bad. Look, bro. We bros, but we bros. But
like that's just wicked.
you knew how the puppet was gonna take that, Michael. You knew them
Like,
people was gonna get
like
out there
you
and
know
run with
better,
that. You knew that.
old light eyes, like it was gonna be a Nino Brown, it was gonna be a New Jack City moment, dog.
Mm.
Like, about to fuck up Christopher Williams. Like, come on, dog. Like, you gotta, like, how do you do that? Like, how? Granted, I don't even know what the relationship is with Jonathan Majors and Michael Ealy, but it's just like, dog, how do you, like, what are you doing, man? Okay, let's backtrack. Let's do it like this, okay? So think about it like this: if I basically am like, you know, I'm me. Now I'm not, I'm beautiful. Look at me. Beautiful. I'm talented. I got all this stuff going for me. I see a homie that basically is with his like this that she's with her man, and it's just like I'm not gonna be like, hey, I need to basically have a warm embrace. Even if we've known each other from the womb, like I ain't gonna be like, oh, we need to have this whole warm embrace that it's like the sun is gonna shine out and it's gonna be waterfall drops and we're gonna look like a Cialis commercial. Like we ain't gonna do all that, dog.
Mm.
Like I'm gonna be like, hey, good on dab her up, dab him up. Hey, what's good, dog? Like how you living? And that's it. Like,
And
because
be out.
I know better. I was raised right. I am not Joe. I don't want to basically do the things your man won't do. That's what you did, Michael Ealy. You put that thought into the atmosphere. You did that.
Mm.
All right. This like you cannot do these things, man. You know that. And I know you know that because we all know that shit. You know what it's just you motherfucker. Like it's see now I'm getting mad. Cause see now it's getting points like it's like dog, you just can't just embarrass because granted, Jonathan Majors just had that conviction or whatever. And I don't even remember what the outcome of all that was. But it's like, what are you doing, dog? What are you doing?
Or had that man in there singing, I don't wanna know if you play me, keep it on the low. You gonna have that man doing shit like that, bro. Cause my
Like, come
heart
on, dog.
can't take it anymore. It's gonna be crazy. That shit gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. But you know what? Look, he knew better. That's all I gotta say, Rob. He knew better. He knew how they was
He
gonna
knew
take that.
better.
He knew
He knew better. And you need to do better, Michael Ealy. Do better.
that. You
Hell.
gotta do better. You do. But moving on. Now we gotta talk about a person who deals in the sweet science and people who commentate on sports. Matter of fact, probably the funniest duo outside of us
Mm-hmm.
commentating on
Yeah,
sports.
they got it.
Shakur Stevenson going at it with Cam and Mase is freaking hilarious, Rob. To watch
Absolutely.
to watch these two get into it with just Shakur. It is so crazy because Cam and Mase are just so blunt and honest, and the clip of them laying around sleep while the fight is on,
Mm,
that shit was hilarious, though.
God.
It was hilarious. And the fact that he came on there and he said, I asked somebody about your fight. And it well, no, he said, I asked somebody about your fight. And they were like, nah, I ain't see it. But it went 12 rounds, though, right? And he was like, yeah, how you know? Because it's Shakur fight. And it's so bad. He said, people are in your corner telling you to let your hands go, and you can't even let your hands go. And then whenever he went to the bank account, he was like, don't make us whip out the app. Don't make me pull out the app. Don't go to the ATM. Don't make us go to the ATM on you right now, son. Because we make more money. And it was just so just it was funny, but it was so truthful though, because I can't lie, dog. I can't. I can go back and watch a Shakur Stevens fight because I'm gonna fast forward through it. Like I'm gonna skim it, but I can't bring myself to sit there and watch it all the time because it's a lot of people who say, "Oh, it was a defensive fight," and it's not that it's just that it's a defensive fight. It's a lot of turtling, and it's a lot of bagging up, and it's a lot of him just trying not to get hit, but then he's not swinging at nobody though. He, I don't know if you saw the guy, Artyom. He just had like a couple nicks up under his eyes. Whenever he fought Frank White, he was he was bloody.
Mm.
I mean Frank Martin, not Frank White. Frank White, I'm thinking of American Games. Whenever he fought Frank Martin, he was bloody. Like this man just fought the man who got knocked out by Tank, and he was bloody after the Frank Martin fight. He had two nicks up under his eyes. He didn't look too bad. Looked like he might have gotten a light scuffle, took a couple licks. He was cool. But Shakur isn't making people pay.
Mm.
And I want him to stop calling Tank. Because I think Tank just won't fight him because Shakur A doesn't bring money like that, and B, if he does get in the ring with him, I think Tank is gonna hurt him. I think Tank is gonna hurt him. He's gonna finish him 6, 7 rounds, something like that, or he's at least gonna bang him up bad enough throughout the fight. It's gonna be a bad look for him. Look, Shakur, and then you making yourself look even worse getting into it with Cam and Mase, bro. Two staples in hip hop. They are staples on the East Coast, okay? And I don't know, like, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I shared the clip with you. Cam,
Yeah.
Cam was like, he ain't even as good as you were. Cam told him, you're not even as good as he was, that as he is right now. If Mase was rapping, Mase is a
Right.
thousand times better at rapping right now than you are at boxing right now.
Right.
And I was like, dog, Mace dropped the tape like some years ago and it was fire. But dog, that mean he shitting on you.
Basically.
It's Shakur, look, I'm gonna pass the Rob here in a second, but I'm gonna say this. Just don't get into it with Mason Cam. Just don't get into it. Hey, Rob, what did you think about it?
So no, man, like you're 100% correct. Like I think the thing is when it comes to certain boxers, like Stevenson or whatever, because Floyd had this same thing. Like Floyd was always like, okay, or what people felt with Floyd is like, no, you're not a fighter, you're a boxer. Like you are doing what you can to just win the fight versus put on a show. And I think that there is a argument behind both sides because we want to see fights. Like I know you are like I got homeboys and along with you that like are boxing fans. Y'all love boxing. I love the sweet science. Y'all love the intricacies of boxing. I'm a fight fan. I want to see a fight. I want to see some cats duke it out and really tussle. And I know you do too, but it's the thing of when it comes to Stevenson basically trying to go with this, I'm a boxer, I'm doing what I can to win kind of shit, it's not gonna work for us. When you got Tank basically, laying the wood on motherfuckers, pause, just kind of go with the Cam and Mase thing, like you basically gonna have, like that kind of clash of you're trying to just win the fight and be champ, but not necessarily like your corner said, letting your hands go. Because Cam is right. Like, yeah, you're not gonna like you can basically be like, all right, you want to talk this tough talk shit, like, all right, we can go to war, kind of things. And I that's for y'all to handle between men. But like yeah, threatening him and doing all the kind of shit, like yeah, like or trying to talk about Mace being a former pastor or whatever. It's like, dog, like you could be sensitive about the criticism, but it's the truth. You basically need to let these hands go and like really get at cats and not just try to fight scared. And yes, I am the man that's not gonna get punched to basically is saying that, but it's still to the point of if you don't want this criticism, you need to basically do shit that's gonna be against the criticism, which doing going the status quo ain't gonna do that. So if you so mad, be mad. But if you gonna basically do something about it, do something about it. And that's what you need to have in mind. And so going at Cam and Mase, who are exceptional at talking like sports and shit,
Very.
they're 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 going to win in that arena because you're not even doing good in there either. So like, yeah, man, like you that's something for you to handle. And you got to basically beat the fuck out of somebody else to make to basically not to basically go against the allegations, dog. Like that's on you. That's on you. That's for you to do. So just do it.
And I'm gonna point this out before we go. He's on one of the worst sides of knockouts. He only has a 45% knockout rate. That's it. That's where he's at. He's not a high end knockout dude, even close. Like,
Yeah.
and it's so bad because if he knocked out more people,
Mm-hmm.
nobody would say anything. Or at least if he
No.
pressured, even if he pressured them. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't even do that. If he pressured people, nobody would tell him that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be an issue. Like I
Yeah,
promise you.
we like aggressive fighters. We like fighters. Like if you're just somebody that's not pressing the issue, you just jabbing, just kind of like not letting dude hit you, like having to do only land like maybe 15% of his punches or something shit
Mm-hmm.
like that, but you only land like maybe 25. Like nobody's coming to watch that, and that's the big thing too because the promoters are gonna be like, man, you need to let these hands go because I need my money. These motherfuckers ain't gonna come to watch you. I'm gonna have lower arenas or I'm gonna have to have less seats. I gotta have less seats. That's less money for you because that's less of a
Mm-hmm.
gate. So what are you gonna do about this? Like it's for you. It's harsh criticism is something that you might not like, Shakur, but dog, it's your pocketbook that's gonna have to answer for that. So if
Yeah.
you want to basically get less money, then you keep doing the shit you're doing. But if you want to basically be up there with the Floyds, because at least with Floyd, he had the mouthpiece. Like he basically would talk you into the fight. But if you really want to basically be that upper echelon guy that people are really ranting and raving about, you're gonna have to knock some motherfuckers out. Tough break.
Yeah.
So it's just what it is.
And it's horrible for him. And he's gonna have to live with it. He's gonna have to live with it. And hopefully, hopefully he'll get over it eventually. Hopefully.
Yep.
But uh, now I'm gonna leave you alone, Shakur, because I know you don't like hearing me talk bad about you. But NBA contracts. This is an interesting one. Jalen Brunson. Okay, look, me and Rob got a theory. Why you ain't take all that goddamn money? Why we just ain't wait this out till next year and take all the money? Just take it all.
Yeah.
Like, y'all need to get paid. And I was kind of talking about this a little bit with Rob before like the everything popped off. But look, bro, we're in an era of everybody want to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
You should have went and got paid. You should have played another season and got paid. Now your rule of what you said was, oh, I'm taking money so we can bring somebody in. Now, Rob pointed out to me, y'all, well, and I have noticed, y'all been under better management. James Dolan is no longer a reason why people can say that nobody's coming. But I got another reason. Who you gonna get?
Yeah.
Who are you going to get? Because I don't see anybody. Anytime I look at what's coming up for 2025, I see a lot more guards, and the bigs that I see or middle of the road people. Unless you get a trade. I'm all for a player getting this money. Look, make them figure out how to make this work. Okay? They get paid to figure out how to make this salary cap work. Okay? It's not your job. But I understand you want a ring chase. You're young, you want a shot at it, you got Julius Randle, you feel like another piece or two, y'all can make this happen. Me on the other hand, I'm going to get my money. You were in Dallas, you were playing next to Luca, you showed that Julius went out, you became a star. And that if y'all can make this mesh whenever he's back healthy, Knicks could be something. You should have took that goddamn money. I don't care what nobody say. Take the money. Take it. Take it. Don't ever sell yourself short. Take that shit. Cause it might not come back. It might not. It can. But it might not. You could have took a max deal next year. You be talking big buckaroos. But I do understand playing, getting to the 10-year vet, um, getting some money now, being team friendly. But they got accounts to figure that out. That ain't shit for me to figure out. I'm here to play, try to make the playoffs, try to go win the championship. In the words of Bobby Boucher money. Take the money, dopey. Me and you could be partners. Just like that Tiger Woods and his daddy.
Roberto.
Hey, you gotta listen to Roberto. What you think though, Rob?
Yeah. No, man, I'm with you because we talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it before the show, and like the way that it kind of sounded is back and forth. And I was trying to reading back on like this little article saying like could he get it, could he not get it? This is the product of the CBA and like how shit is structured. CJ McCollum, this blood is on your hands, all those shit. But I will say this because when it comes to the money, never, ever, ever, ever take the discount. Here's why. Because when it comes to Jalen Brunson, so like they're gonna save a lot, and basically a lot of things are gonna be able to happen. Shit gonna be able to shake a little bit better, or at least as of right now. The Knicks gonna have some money to play with to basically go get a free agent, get a star, whatever. But like Nate said, like who the fuck you gonna go get? Because there's really not any like free agents that's gonna be coming up that you gonna basically be like, we need to trade the house or need to basically buy out the bar for this dude. Like Giannis is always one of those cats, but Giannis has been rumored for forever. I don't think he's gonna ever leave Milwaukee. Luka, like around the time that I think it was like 26 or 27, basically his player option is gonna be up. Like maybe him. But like overall, there is no guarantee that you're gonna get somebody that's gonna push you over the top. And I think that when it comes to when guys saying like, hey, we're gonna do the team friendly deal, there's nothing to guarantee any of that because we can do this whole ring chasing thing, and y'all know I've been on a crusade against ring chasing. I have been the Joan of Arc against that bullshit, and that's mainly because it's that American dream bullshit that basically people buy into, which is I'm gonna take less, work my ass off, and the boss gonna basically help me on the end. Part three may not ever happen, and that's why you always got to go ahead and get yours because they're gonna get theirs, and that's what you have to keep in mind. They're going to get theirs, no matter what way you swing it. They're gonna get theirs. So saying that hey, we're gonna try to keep this core together or take less to get a championship, never, ever, 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 players, never, ever, ever do that. Because the thing about it is they can say all these things now, but let's say with this core group right now, say Michael Bridges has a bad injury. or Mikael Bridges has a bad injury. Let's say they want to bring back, they really want to bring back Julius Randle, and that's going to cost a lot. And that means that they got to give up maybe Josh Hart. That goes against everything. Or somebody else calls in and say, "Hey, we really want Josh Hart, and we'll give you this." They may not stay loyal to you, Jalen Brunson. They probably gonna be like, "Hey, this is about the Knicks and what's best for the Knicks." Now your homie gone, and you basically did. Now you basically saving money for somebody that you might not even fuck with. Always take the money, not rely on teams to have your best interest because they don't have theirs. Right? Do not rely on these teams' best interests. They
at
don't.
all.
Just don't. It's no reason to. No reason to at all. Just rely on yourself, get your money, and basically go after that.
Just never leave it on the table. There's
Ever.
there's all
Ever.
kind of crap that you can do once you have your money to make sure that you're straight. They can figure it out. If they figured out in the MLB how to pay Bobby Bonilla years later and pay him more money, they'll figure that shit out in the NBA. Okay?
Yeah.
That is the perfect example of how if they want it bad enough, they'll figure this out. They got a guy who gets paid. He'll figure out how to make these numbers work. If he got to come to you and say, "Hey, bro, look, we can give you this over this amount of time with this, and this left," they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Don't even worry about that. I'm taking my money. Damn everything else. I'm taking what I need right now. I don't need nothing else. I don't need nobody to nope, 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 nope. Give it to me. They gonna say, what you need? Give it to me. You don't want give me that. Give me that right now. I want that right now. Give it to me. I don't want nothing else. I want that
You
now
put that shit in my hand.
in my hand right now. I don't want nothing else. I don't want you to tell me, oh, but he could. Nope, nope. Give me that. You don't want I want that one. You sure? Positive. That's the one I want. That's the one. And if they tell me something different, I'm going against the grain. Trust me, I'm going against the grain. No matter what, I'm going against it. I'm going to figure out how to do this. I'm going to figure out how to do this. But now, you know me and Rob are always going to be basketball. Well, baseball fans. We're basketball fans too, but we're always going to be baseball fans. So,
Absolutely.
Rob came up with the MLB Purgatory Power Rankings, which means bad teams with good trade assets, you know?
Yep.
And we
'Cause
got to talk about this because in the MLB, there are some bad teams. And on this list, we got the exception of one team that's good, but they got plenty of shit that they can trade. Okay, they got like a lot of except one guy. One guy for sure he ain't going. Well, two for sure on this team ain't going nowhere. But we wanted to bring this to you guys because we thought that this would be very entertaining. Okay, so Rob, to kick off the Purgatory Power Ranks, Oakland Athletics. Who you got on there that you feel like can go first? They're good to be traded. They can be gone right now. They can make some capital.
So what everybody's been talking about, since the start of the season or since like the first few weeks is about Mason Miller. So Mason Miller is this hard throwing, like he was hard throwing last year, got hurt, and then I think he came back towards the latter end, but like hard throwing bullpen arm. I think they was gonna have him as a starter, but now they're just gonna keep him in the bullpen for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Throws like 103, 104 consistently. Got great movement. Got great breaking balls. Everything just is an exceptional bullpen talent. Like somebody that's gonna be. Like I think I'm trying to pull up his stats. Like I think he's only given up. Yeah, like he's got a 2.27 ERA, which is great. 15 saves. Like he's that dude. Like 70 strikeouts over like uh you know 39 innings, which is exceptional. He's basically striking out basically everybody he goes against.
Yep.
And so nah, man, like he is that dude, and that's the top of the line. Another name to basically keep in mind, Brent Rooker. Brent Rooker was an All Star. I want to say last year. Um, Played for Team Australia in the World Baseball Classic. A very nice talent. Got a really good OPS this year. Basically, has been one of their most consistent guys that they have. Like just a straight up talent that basically people can use. Another one that isn't going to get talked about, but somebody that's been I've been keeping track of, just throughout the season, Esteri Ruiz, and it looks like he's hurt right now.
Yeah.
It's been up and down. He's been up and down with the minors. Like he started out hot, and then they being the Astro Athletics brought him down to the minors for whatever reason. Like it was like the dumbest shit in the world. Like John Fisher, you are sell your fucking team. Please sell your team. Just sell the A's. You, sir, are horrible for this franchise. Now we talked about like just a sidetrack. We talked about with the Knicks and James Dolan and how he's had shitty ownership of a team. John Fisher is basically the worst owner in Major League Baseball right now. Easily. And we can go into why he's the worst owner, but I ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time. We staying on the purgatory power rankings. And so basically, reason why we call it the purgatory power rankings, I should have said this at the top, is because these are the teams that are bad with good trade assets. So they're basically the people that are waiting to get to the heavens. Like basically, waiting on Mason Miller to get to the Yankees, even though people wouldn't call that a heaven. But we're waiting on some of these guys to get to much better teams or in much better places so that basically they can start actually being fruitful, and then some other folks gonna come in and supplement them, with trade assets. But well, I'm waiting on Brent Rooker to become a Cardinal. And so like something like that, where basically you have somebody that is a great asset and is going to a team that could really use him. Brent Rooker to the Cardinals. And then you can follow through with that. Now that's my number one team. So what do you think about like with the A's being in purgatory?
Okay. So it is two people that you didn't mention, and I want to throw these two names out there. So one is Shea Langoliers. I
Mm.
feel like I don't think the A's will ever get rid of him, but you know,
It's
there's a
possible.
certain team in Boston, I wouldn't mind see,
Mm.
just picking him up,
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And another
Mm-hmm.
guy that I think that I'm waiting for him to pan out and fill out more is Lawrence Butler. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he has good power. He's gonna be I feel like he's gonna be a really 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 good player if he continues to develop. But the A's have people that are sitting there, and it's just they suffering, man. And look, Rob already called you out for being a bad owner, but I feel like you're not even trying.
I remotely.
I feel like you go to the meeting and you say, "How much money did we pull in? We're above the red, right? Oh, okay, cool." And then that's the end of that meeting. There's nothing else that happens in that meeting outside of that. I don't feel like there's any planning. Hey, what can we do here? Uh, can we look for another stadium for like a city? How can we turn this team around and start winning? I don't feel like none of that is ever like any of it is ever discussed in Oakland. I feel like it's just, eh, what happened? Oh, okay, cool. Above red, cool. I bet I'm out. Catch you later on the yacht, and then it's done. That's what that is in Oakland. I could be wrong, but from the outside looking in, that's what it feels like. And I'm gonna be honest, if I'm an Oakland A's fan, I'm depressed to be across from San Francisco. I really am, cause it's for lack of better terms, it's like living in the rundown part of town over there. And then
Those projects.
yeah, you're living in the projects over there. But if you go across the bridge over there, it's the Upper
The
East
better
Side.
projects.
Yeah. Well, it's the Upper East Side compared to where they at.
Yeah.
It's moving on up over there.
Stay
It,
tuned.
it look a lot better over there, Rob. It looks a lot better over there than what it does in Oakland. Just throw that one out there. I'm not against your team, Oakland. I'm against your owner. It's a difference. It's a
Yeah.
difference.
And I think the fans at least know that by now.
Yeah. I'm against your owner. I just feel like owners need to own and do some shit instead of just not doing shit. You can't own some. I would be like Steve Ballmer, bro. They would get tired of me showing up in the meetings. I'd be in that bitch with my coffee and shit talking shit. How can we flip this around?
Yeah, like this month.
They'll be like, hey man, you don't want to be home. No. I feel like there's no owning in the ownership in Oakland. Now,
That's true.
next team we got on Purgatory Power Ranks.
Hmm?
Toronto Blue Jays, Rob. Now I want to see who you're going to pick as the assets that you think you want to see move.
So, like, I was going back and forth with this because, like, I had Oakland as number one because of how overwhelmingly talented Mason Miller is. But I've heard that the Blue Jays were actually thinking about shopping Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette around. And between those two motherfuckers, like, that's a huge. Whoever basically gets them is going to basically they're gonna be powerful. Like, say if like a Padres got them, say if a San Francisco Giants got them, say if it was like if the Yankees, if the Red Sox, like if somebody that was like
Don't you hate on us?
really worth a damn got them, like they would basically pay dividends to a lineup because like they're two great talents. Absolutely could hit the ball. Like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was an MVP candidate like
Yes.
multiple years. Like these guys are absolutely assets that are talented. But you also got like say like if the Blue Jays wanted to really part with George Springer, which I don't know how many people really want George Springer right now because he's not what he was. Injuries really killed that. But like if somebody was really trying to get at somebody like that, like George Springer would be one. Chris Bassett, like I think that somebody's gonna really try to go at somebody like him. A guy that's been around. Like if they need that fifth starter, fourth starter, somebody they could at least have the possibility of bringing in to booster their lineup. Like a Cardinals if they want to do that. But yeah, no, like the Blue Jays have a lot of talent. They just haven't had shit work out. Like I thought this would be like the last few years. I thought this would be a playoff team. Somebody that can at least contend, and they just haven't had it work out because of injuries or what have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the second team. That's number two on the power rankings. I know we kind of usually they go bottom to top. We go on top to bottom.
Yeah.
But what you think about that?
Now the only person that you left off that I feel like has some value in there, I feel like Alejandro. Alejandro has some
Oh,
value
Kirk.
in him. Yeah, I think he does because I feel like part of what's wrong with this team is, look, Justin Turner, don't take this as a shot. He's about to be
I'll take the
40.
shot.
He's about to be
Yeah.
40, man,
Yeah.
and he's still there. I'ma just say, we love you. I need
Damn.
you. I need you to go so I can start clearing money. Okay? Cause I have these two guys here that I need to start making this thing work around. Okay? And he's the elder statesman. Okay? I got a catcher who's young. I got a first baseman. I got a shortstop. Okay? Gosman is decent. He's like 33, 34. He's soon, look, he's getting to Moses' age in pitcher terms, okay? He's creeping up on the age of Moses. Okay. So I need to start moving stuff. I need to start making stuff happen. But if we're gonna talk just purely assets, Blue Jays, I wouldn't want to see you trade those two. But if you did, you gotta go in the total rebuild mode. If you get rid of those two, there is no, oh, I'm looking to get something back to, nah, we going total
Yeah,
rebuild mode. And at
yeah.
that point,
Especially
I'm Justin Turner's out. I'm gonna let Gosman play out. And George Springer, yeah, George Springer, his body, it's just his body, bro. The injuries kill you. Whenever the injuries kill you, they kill you, and we see it across all sports. Him, Derrick Rose, is these guys get beat up and they can't do it no more. You know, so I totally understand what George Springer.
yeah, and I think part of the Blue Jays, like I think part of why Justin Turner is still around there because they lost Matt Chapman,
Yeah,
and they just needed somebody else to be in there. But also with Aurelvis Martinez basically getting suspended for PEDs, like I think that was a big blow to them as well.
yeah.
Like they've had talent, and it's just like it just hasn't panned out. Like whether people get hurt, people leaving free agency, whatever it is. Like they had Teoscar for a while, just never worked out. But I don't know. I don't understand it.
Next, Purgatory Power Rankings, Detroit Tigers. Look, it's a certain picture up here. I, I feel like Rob would like back, possibly. And
So
go ahead, go ahead.
no. Finish out.
And it's a couple guys up here that I know I wouldn't mind having, like on my team. But go ahead, Rob. I feel like it's a certain picture though that you like back.
So, because I did see the article today that there was a rumor that Mr. Jack Flaherty, who I still haven't found out what he is, um, that he might be on his way back to St. Louis, which I always thought, because I think we talked about it in the preview episode or preview MLB preview episode, where I talked about Shelby Miller, Jack Flaherty being two names that basically would always have to keep our eye on at the trade deadline because the
Mm-hmm.
Tigers suck normally, and they basically were going to give up those assets because somebody else is going to want them. Now, I haven't heard too much about Shelby Miller. He was, I think, selected to be an All Star. Like, actually, let me look at that. But overall, uh, like it's one of those things. Like this motherfucker coming back to the Cardinals would be rich after. Which if we were to trade him to the Tigers and then trade him back, like it would just Cardinals. You're better than this. You are better than this. You shouldn't be doing this. Okay, I this would be the funniest shit in the world, dog. Like I would basically cry laughing if we were to trade back for this motherfucker. And now we Shelby Miller isn't an All Star. For some reason, I thought he was, but
Yeah.
now yeah, I would just be yeah. But to other teams, Jack Flaherty is somebody that you could add on as a starter. Granted, he was traded in the deadline to Baltimore, didn't really work out. But any other team, like I think that Jack Flaherty would be good for you, and that's why I had them at number 3 between Jack Flaherty, Shelby Miller. Another name would be um, who was I talking about? If they're wanting to add a power bat that strikes out a lot, Javier Baez.
Yeah.
Carson Kelly was another name that basically I was thinking about as far as Matt Vierling. That's what I was thinking about. He's somebody that I think would be a good depth piece for a really good team. Like hell, if he went back to the Phillies, like it might be a good pickup for them. St. Louis guy, but essentially, yeah, like they have some pieces. I don't think they would give up Scuball.
No, they're
Like
not.
I think they want to keep him just to at least make sure like, hey, we got something. But overall, yeah, like I had them in number 3 because they got some talent, they got some guys, you know, but they don't have a ton, but they got something.
So I think unmovables from them: Scooble, Riley Green, and I think Winston Perez. I don't think those three move.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
Yep.
those three move at all. Now, guys that I could see short term moving, going somewhere, Flaherty, like you said, Javier Baez, he strikes out. That's the only thing. He just strikes out a lot. But if
Oh,
he
oh,
hits it,
basically, yeah,
but if he hits it though, we going somewhere.
yeah,
But he
yeah.
strikes out a lot. I think Shea finna probably play it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of that, I don't think that there's too many other people that I could see leaving them. I think after you get rid of, I think if you lost Bias and Flaherty, I think after that you'd be in okay. Let's take the young talent because see, this is a team that's sitting with guys who are 32 plus on the way out, and then they got a lot of
Yep.
them young 20-year-old guys. So it's like 20-year old, 30, late 30s, with like mid to late 30s, and it's like I need to keep all of these guys, but some of these guys they could go.
Yep.
But the question is, what am I gonna get for Javier Baez? What am I gonna get for Jack Flaherty? That's the issue right now. What am I gonna get for those two? If I get something good, I get something good. But if I don't get something good, I'm kind of assed out. You know, I think that's the bad part with them.
Yeah.
Now, more Purgatory Power Ranks. Miami Marlins.
Miami Marlins.
Okay.
Miami.
Unlike the song
Oh
that Will
yeah.
Smith made about Miami, it is not good if you're a Marlin right now. But I will say this: they have some decent talent there. They have some decent talent. Now, who are you thinking that they can trade? Because to me, I don't know who I'd be willing to trade.
So first of all, just like I was saying with Jonathan Majors, Miami Marlins, I am so sorry. Because the thing about with the Miami Marlins is their whole lineup, like their whole rotation basically has been hurt already.
Yeah,
Sandy's been given over, I think, getting over Tommy John. I think Braxton Garrett was like a big part. He's been hurt all year. Luzardo's been hurt all year. Esteury Perez has been hurt all year. Sixto's been hurt all year. Ryan Weathers been hurt all year. Like it's been like y'all couldn't catch a fucking break to save your life. You had Luis Araz. You had to go trade him because you had nothing else. You know, you built up some depth in your farm club, but like, yeah. But as far as the names that they could basically trade away, Josh Bell is a name that I've heard a lot. Switch hitting first baseman,
yep.
like absolutely a vet, brother. So it's like, I've always been watching him since he came in the league. Big dude, just yeah, like that's a guy that I would be like, all right, somebody's gonna add him on if the Marlins are willing to give him up, which I think they will. They were doing the Bell and Berger connection, and I think that because of how bad they've been this year, it just hasn't really taken off. The biggest name that's been talked about is Jazz Chisholm, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Like, and I don't think somebody's gonna trade for Jazz. Um, Granted, I don't know any better. Granted, he's a converted infielder, basically playing center field. I don't think if he goes to another team, they're gonna try to keep him at center field. I think they'll probably pull him back to the infield. I just don't know who would want him. Uh, and not saying it's anything bad about Jazz. I love Jazz. I love him as a player, but I think that a lot of people have some ill will and ill feelings about Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And Jazz also has been hurt a lot and hasn't been able to keep the stability for him to basically show how much of a star he is because he is a star. He just can't stay healthy for shit. Like it's a hard thing for him because it's like he has all the tools to be a great talent and a great showman for the league. It's just that you only get to see that for only so many games in the year, and so it's just like, fuck, okay, well, what do we do about this? Like, how are we supposed to manage this? And so yeah, but no, between Bell and Chisholm, I think those are the guys that basically are the trade pieces. Like from a like rest of the lineup, like I don't see them trading away. They don't have like a great talent. Maybe they'll trade Tanner Scott because he is their all star, but I don't know who would want him, even though he's actually had a great season. Uh, but I don't know if he's that. We're going like I don't know if he's that Mason Miller that beats people or people looking at him as that as like I need this bullpen arm to basically bolster my bullpen. Like I don't know if he's a make or break guy. I don't think he's gonna be like somebody. He's gonna come in and be somebody's closer like Miller would. I think he's gonna come in and be just another arm. But that would be the only like arm talent I would say is going to possibly be traded from them.
Okay, so I agree with you on the arm talent. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. At this point, I think Miami's ready to treat Jazz as a headache. I think that that's how they look at him,
Mm-hmm.
and they bought in Josh Bell, hoping that something would shake.
Yep.
Uh, Jake Berger, I thought that he would play really good this year. They got those guys who are hovering around their prime ish
Yeah.
time, and it's hard to say if you move. If you, I feel like a lot of them, if I could get them for cheap, I might roll the dice on.
Yeah.
But then it's also like arm talent. Like I don't know if you remember, a couple years ago we thought Edward Cabrera might be the shit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yesterday he just gave up 4 home runs. He's 1-3 on the year start.
Also, basically haven't been able to stay healthy either.
Yeah. So they got a lot of dudes that I'm hurt, I'm not playing well. And it's like, what do we do? I'm
Yeah.
thinking Miami is gonna go in. If I'm Miami, and this is just me spitballing what I would do, I think I look to see if I got a suitor for Bell. I look to see if I got a suitor for Chisholm. I look to get off Bell, Chisholm, probably Berger too, if I could get up off him. And I'm gonna get up off of Cabrera, and I'm gonna let other people take chances on those four. And I'm gonna pray to God that I can get back something that works for me, and just start over again. Because I feel like whenever they bought in Bell and the other guys, they were hoping that they were gonna get him a lift, and the ship is never taken off. It's
Yeah.
just been stuck. And I, I
Yeah.
I thought Cabrera could be the next it dude with his arm, with just his velo and stuff like that. And he got rocked yesterday. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying getting rocked doesn't help, but I think he's sitting at like an 11 ERA or something ridiculous like that right now. It's like 7 or 11. It's high.
Yeah.
He's like 1-3. This ain't the dude that we thought he was gonna be. Hey,
Yeah.
what do you want me to do? I can't I can't predict the future. I thought I knew better. I gotta eat this one. So I gotta eat it. Like I just gotta deal. So it is what it is on that one. Outside of that, I don't know who else anybody's willing to take a real risk on. Me personally, I don't know if I'm willing to take the risk on some of them unless I can get them for cheap. If I can get them for cheap, I might roll the dice on. Now, next on the Purgatory Power Rankings, the White Sox. You know, the White Sox. I wish, I wish that you know, Two Family Tim was still there so I can make a joke about him, but he's not there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start this one.
Go ahead.
I think maybe Crochet,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if who's gonna take him. He's 25. I think win loss for him has been subjective at times because of his team. I think he's a decent arm talent. I think maybe he can go somewhere and be better. You know, I think I'm gonna say I think he can be better.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Tommy Pham, old. I don't mean that you're old, bro, but you up there. Okay, 36.
37.
Yeah. Now, Luis Roberts,
Oh yeah.
I could see somebody trading for you. Okay.
Yep.
Um, like I could see somebody trading. He can
Cardinals.
swing. Yeah. Look, Rob wants you. Okay. I would like you too, but I'm in a bidding war with this man across from me on the show. Okay. Because we both
Ooh.
gonna pull 5T. But I could see Luis Roberts definitely get traded. 26 years old, he can hit, he's fast, decent glove out there. I can see it happen with Luis.
I'm down 55, baby.
Yeah. Uh, Elroy, Elroy Jimenez, I could see it. I could see him. You can't see him trading him. You know,
Always hurt.
yeah, he's hurt.
Damaged goods.
He's hurt, but he's 27. Maybe
27
he.
years full of hurt.
he-
That's the thing. Like Eloy Jimenez got traded from the Cubs, had a very hot year when he got traded, and has spent on the DL every fucking year since.
this
Has
is
had
true.
season long injuries, have had intermittent months here and there. Like that motherfucker cannot stay healthy for shit.
This is true.
Like
Maybe he might switch.
and granted, Luis Robert is kind of the same thing, but Luis Robert has a lot more potential than Eloy Jimenez. Eloy Jimenez has a lot of power. He just can't stay healthy for nothing.
Yeah. Now, if we gonna talk cheap value wise, I could maybe see Andrew Benintendi.
Mhm.
uh, and okay, I'm gonna step out on a limb with this one, even though something is telling me that they wouldn't do it. Andrew Vaughn, the man with
Mm.
the hair like he's freaking 40. Andrew, I need you to fix that shit. You should not be 26. Or just shave it bald, bro. Just shave it
Come
bald.
on home, baby.
Yeah. That's who I could see value wise. Outside of that, I don't know. Like White Sox, y'all are in such a bad deal. Y'all are just in such a bad way. Oh, and maybe Gavin Sheets too.
Oh yeah.
And maybe Gavin Sheets. But y'all are in such a bad way, bro. Like, what do you want us to do? I'm telling you, it's a lot of y'all who own these teams, and I don't think y'all give a damn. I really don't think y'all give a damn. I feel like this is just another way for you to make money, and you just don't care. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Who else could you see?
Nah, man, I think you hit all of them. Because really, I came in when I thought about these power rankings, I thought of the two names, Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert. Like those were the only names I was like that people are actually going to go out for, especially with the Cardinals trying to go get Luis Robert, and they should. But like, yeah, like Paul DeYoung, if this was the first half of the year, like if he basically stayed on the clip that he was on the first half of the year he was on, like he probably would be one of these names because he started out hot
Yes, he
and
did.
it's fizzled out. But like, yeah, like I don't see them moving on from Andrew Vaughn. I don't see them moving on from Gavin Sheets, but I wouldn't go against it. I wouldn't. Part of me is more. I don't see them. I see them basically moving on from Luis Robert just because it's just like he's had injuries and everything like that. Um, but and Crochet because of how much he could probably yield in a trade. But like a lot of these cats, like they don't really have much outside of that. I mean, they got Colson Montgomery, who's a top prospect,
Yeah.
uh, who's waiting in the wings, but like I think that they're just like at the point is like we don't want to bring him up into this foolishness. But
And
when do you bring him up? You know.
but see,
But
that's
no,
the thing.
like
They're waiting, and what do we win? You gotta ship
yeah,
somebody out. Somebody
yeah,
gotta go, Rob. Somebody
yeah.
gotta go.
It's just a lot of the guys that they got, I don't think are wanted. You know, they got Drew Thorpe from that not the Soto trade. Yeah, well, I think he was part of the Soto trade or whatever trade that was. Might have been Rondon. But like, no, it wasn't Rondon. It was I think it's all. Either way, he was in that trade, and basically they got him. But like it was like yeah, like they don't have anything to really like. People are like, oh my god, I like maybe Michael Kopech if he was what he was a few years ago, but like there's nothing about him right now. Like there's nothing about anybody on this team right now that I'm like, oh shit, they got to give up this. And we're gonna go to some other teams that basically are in that same boat, like the last few teams that we got, but like or last couple of teams that we got, but like yeah, man, like these motherfuckers like don't have
And Schuster is your only arm talent.
yeah.
Which, granted, he's doing better than whenever he was with the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing better than whenever he was with the Braves. But do you give up your 25-year-old arm talent?
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta at least think about okay, we are shit now, but we don't want to be shit forever. And there might be a time that they might want to spend and get some free agents because shit, why the fuck not? But yeah, like right now they are biscuit, bottom of the bin shit
Yeah,
right now, and
they
there's no
really
other
are.
way of putting it.
They really are. Next, the Rockies, Rob. Who are you thinking right now from the Rock? Purgatory
So
Power Ranks.
Purgatory Power Ranking. So Austin Gomber was a name that I thought about a little bit. The first, actually, so excuse me, the first name that I really thought about was Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon has been rumored to go to the Yankees for months, and I think when they did trade for JD Davis, the Yankees did it kind of squandered a little bit. But that's a name that I would say is still right there on the cusp, like Ryan McMahon. That would be the one thing. That would be the main thing, and he's a great great player, all star this year. Like that will be the dude. Outside of that, um, out actually not Austin Gomber, Tyler McKinley. That's another name that I would say. No, Cal Quantrill. Cal Quantrill is a name that I will say that somebody's gonna probably go out for just to get a lefty arm. He's had a fairly nice season this year. Like I think they can really use somebody else could really use somebody like him. But outside of that, I don't think anybody's gonna go after Charlie Blackmon. Charlie Blackmon's going to
He's
retire a
38.
Rocky.
Yeah, he's 38.
Uh, they're not gonna go after Branson Doyle because that is one of their stars right now. Their outfit is gonna probably get crowded once they bring up Zach Veen. And then like what's old boy's name? I just forgot it off the top of my head. Um, the guy they brought up this year, Jordan Beck. Like that outfield is gonna probably get a little crowded, but it's like I don't see. Oh, Nolan Jones is another
They're not
name. He's
getting him.
hurt.
And he just went on the IR. He's 10 days
Yeah,
out right now.
yeah,
But he's
yeah. So like
26.
they're one of those teams that like they have a lot of just guys that like are talented, and as soon as they get the pitching, you know, then it might work out because they got Chase Dollander, who was just in the Futures game yesterday. Right there as one of their top prospects, but like
Yeah.
they don't really have much else because it's hard to get pitching talent in Coors Field because of the weather or the environment. So but no, I think they got a lot of talent, and I think they're gonna get to the point where they're like, okay, no, we have to keep guys. But like as far as the guys that they got, Cal Quantrill, I think was a name that they're eventually going to trade along with Ryan McMahon. It's just depending on who it is and who wants it.
And I'm going to be honest. I don't think it, I think if I'm look, I can't give up Nolan Jones if I'm them. He's too
Oh yeah,
young. Even though he's hurt right now, he's too young. Uh Ryan McMahon, if you've ever thought about being Boston Red Sox, just throw that one out there to you. I'll make sure that they roll out the red carpet.
he's Rick.
But
I know who said that. Who said that?
yeah. But I don't see this is like I said. This is another one of those teams, man. It's good players just sitting there, and I
Yeah,
don't think nobody's. I don't think these owners are willing to spend or compete with other people. But like you said, it's
yeah,
also hard to get pitching talent because there's thin. It's Bomb City up there, baby. If that ball get airborne, you might give up 3 bombs in a night. You know who I feel like would have been a perfect pitcher type to be there? Um,
So,
Guy from the Cardinals. I mean, not the Cardinals, Cubs. Black guy. Pitched the contact. From the Cubs. Dang it. What was
Carl
his name?
Edwards, Carl Edwards Jr.
No, 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 no. He was there a few years ago, I think.
Strope.
Yeah, Stroman, I want to say, or Strobe.
Oh, Stroman. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Mark Stroman. Yep.
I feel like that's the type of guy you need in Colorado.
Yeah.
He's pitched the contact. He's not giving up a lot of stuff in the air. He's gonna get you out.
Mm,
He's not gonna strike out a bunch of people. That's what you're for there. That's
yes.
what you need for there. You're not winning with anything else. You know. Hold up. One
Yeah.
second, Rob. Let me pause this. Hold on. But yeah, Rob. I don't see the Rockies making much of a push for what they have left. For what they have left, for sure. Now, who is it anybody? Well, no, you had said McMahon. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about like as untouchables?
Well, untouchables for sure. Nolan Jones.
Yeah.
I don't
Ezekiel
think.
Tovar is
Yeah,
another one.
Tovar.
Uh, yeah, like most of their hidden talent is untouchable. I would say. Like and I don't they don't have a ton of like wanted like pitching talent. Like they don't have like a overwhelming guy that basically you don't go with. Like I said, Quantrill would be the only one because I think he's attainable. Um, they don't have like a like it's not the days of like when they had Ubaldo who Jimenez and like
Yeah,
they just had somebody that you be like, oh shit, like they got him. To your point, which is something I didn't even think about, having somebody that's more of a sinker ball pitcher, somebody that's gonna get on the ground like a Kevin Gosman that has like a great sinker or not sinker splitter,
yeah,
or like a Logan Webb out of the Giants, like somebody that has like just that kind of like heavy ball pause talent that basically you can basically leverage. Like somebody just throw like they're throwing bowling balls to the catcher.
yeah.
Like I think that is probably what they need um more than anything. But
Because
I don't
you
know if
know,
they're gonna go after that. And it's not like a ton of guys that are pitching like that. Everybody's going below. Not anybody's really going more sinker get outs kind
yeah,
of way.
and to be and like I said, you need it for pitching there. Everywhere
Yeah.
else, you're probably gonna need some. You're gonna need some major velo, but it's either that or y'all turn Coors Field into a dome. It's one.
We pin in that, put a pin in that. That's gonna be for a future topic.
Yeah, because I thought about it. I thought about it years ago. That's the biggest problem pitching there. Because
Yeah.
that's why I feel like pitchers don't want to be there.
Yep.
Pitchers want the controlled environment.
Yeah. We gonna put a pin in that. You listener, put a pin in it. Wherever you are, if you're driving, put a pin somewhere. We're gonna talk about that on a future date.
Yeah. Now, the last team that we have on the Purgatory Power Rings is not that they're a bad team. It's just that they got so much shit that they could use. Well, that they could trade and offload. The Dodgers. Okay. Now off rip, bro. Ain't
Wait,
no ain't no Shohei going nowhere. And ain't no Mookie Betts going nowhere. Okay.
wait. You said the Dodgers,
Yeah, didn't you put the Dodgers at the bottom?
the Angels.
I mean the Angels. Oh no, my bad. I was thinking Lord's hand. Look at my bad. My bad, people. The Angels. Oh, the
See,
Angels. Boy, Angels.
live TV.
Look at Angels. Look at Angels. Whew.
Yeah.
So Rendon, maybe if you're looking for a one and done, you wouldn't take him. You wouldn't even take him? Not even for one and
Maybe
done.
if I worked at if I worked at McDonald's, worked at Amazon, if I worked at AutoZone, worked at Taco Bell. If excuse me, not Taco Bell. If I worked at Procter Gamble, if I worked at so many other places, I would take Anthony Rondon. I would not take him on my MLB team. I do not like that Sam I am.
He to me, he's a one and done if you take. but he's always injured.
But he's always done. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
he's just a done. Like there is no one and done. There's just a done and done. That nigga at this point, like he is done. He is finished, cooked, flambéed, sous vide, air fried. Like that motherfucker is out of here
Do you
for all
realize?
intents and purposes.
Do you realize like he strained his hamstring and missed 69? It was over.
Nice. Like he is done. That man is gone.
I'm gonna be honest
Gone.
with you.
Gone, I say.
Maybe Taylor Ward.
I don't think they'd give him up. I think they want like so I think a lot like kind of similar to with the Rockies, they have a lot of talent that I don't see them giving up. Like they're hitting talent. I don't see any of them either giving up or anybody else wanting them. Because there's a lot of just cats that like Logan O'Hop, like that was their like number one prospect
Yeah,
like the last year or two.
yeah.
Like they're not giving him up.
Nope,
Taylor
they're
Ward,
not.
no. Zach Neto, no. Joe Adele is the only maybe I could see like other teams wanting and them might giving up, but like that's as close as
I
we
don't
get.
think they giving him up. I don't think they giving up Joe Adele. Everybody else who you named, Taylor Ward, Logan O'Hop, I don't think they giving up him. Everybody else is freaking old.
Yeah, or not good.
Yeah, or injury
Um,
prone.
yep.
See, I don't
So the name,
understand.
good.
I don't understand. Like, invest in. Look, Anthony, I tried to give you a freebie, bro. I maybe said you got one left in you. I feel like
Ooh,
maybe you could be the Ghost Rider for one season and get it done.
word.
And give up the last ride and be done. I don't see anything else because hitting, they're solid. Now pitching on the other hand,
Yeah, they they got the thing is like the reason why they were on the power rankings for me is because of pitching. Like Tyler Anderson has been having a very nice year. Like that man is actually I mean the record is not great, but like that ERA is actually really
yeah,
good.
his ERA
You
is
know,
good.
especially for like the AL West. Like that motherfucker's actually been very nice this year. Like that between him, Soriano, I don't see them moving on from him. But like just Tyler Anderson, that motherfucker's getting moved. He's going somewhere. It's just where, you
What
know,
you
and
figure?
he's
You
been
got
a kind
another
of a
2 years in
journeyman.
you?
You said what?
What you figure? You got another 2 years in him?
He at least got this year. I don't see like I don't think anybody's gonna bring him in like trade for him as a long term option. But as far as like what he's done, like he's been like at least solid for like the last 3 4 years. It's just that he's not somebody that's like oh he's gonna be the top of my rotation. But for somebody looking for like that number three arm for like a playoff rotation, oh he's gonna get
Oh
moved.
yeah.
It just depends on when and who. You know, like who is gonna go out to go trade for him. And that I mean, left-handed arm, like maybe I was gonna think like maybe the Yankees. Like as far as like a playoff team that basically could use that extra pitching. Trying to think of
Yeah.
another team. Houston would be a good one. I
Yeah,
don't know if they're
Houston
gonna
would
want
be
to
a good
trade
one.
within the division. Um, but like Houston will be a great one for like where he could fit. Going back to the Dodgers because the Dodgers got a lot of injuries. To your point, like you know, even though you like we kind of mixed them up. Like to your point, the Dodgers have had a ton of fucking injuries this year, especially with their pitching staff. Shit, Dustin May torn esophagus.
Who
Torn esophagus
tears
is
this
out for the
crap?
year. I have never heard some shit like that. I didn't even know you could tear your esophagus. It makes sense, but I've never heard of somebody. He was the way the story I saw was like he was out to dinner, felt discomfort, then basically went to the doctor. They said he had a torn esophagus and he's out for the year. I didn't know that shit could happen. Like that man is out for the year. They've been snake bitten. Like the Angels, I've been saying is cursed. Dodgers have been snake bitten too this year with how much pitching talent they've had hurt. Glasnow's I think hurt. Yamamoto's
Yep.
hurt. Bueller's hurt. Kershaw, I don't even know if he's hurt or not. Like
think he is.
he's presumed hurt. Like everybody on that squad is fucking hurt right now. So they could probably use somebody like Tyler Anderson, and they got enough capital that they could give up to the Angels for something.
And
But
Bueller's not
yeah,
having a good year either.
I think Bueller's hurt. Ain't
I thought he
like Bueller,
was hurt. No, well, yeah, he got to be hurt because the last
he
he pitched
came
in
back.
June.
I remember he came back, but I thought he was out.
Yeah, I
But
think
I could
he
be
is
wrong.
hurt. I think he is hurt because I think the last time he pitched was like in June. But they are riddled with this person's hurt, that person's hurt, this person's hurt, that person's hurt.
Like it's sad. Like, but that would be the thing. Like somebody's gonna go out and get him. It just depends on who, and I don't know who that would be. Like, yeah, Gosling's hurt. Yeah, Kershaw's on the DL.
Bueller,
May
15-day
Bueller.
IL.
Yep. Yeah, Yamamoto. Um, like all their like hellified arm talent is gone, and it's sad because like no, they're a great team. It's just can't Mookie's on the IL.
There's only
Like
one
yeah, but
upside to all of this hurt in their pitching rotation. And that's the fact that we've gotten to see Shohei Ohtani back every day.
that motherfucker is
That's it.
amazing.
So
That motherfucker.
that is the upside to this, though, Rob. That is the upside to the Dodgers being so hurt pitching wise. Everybody, because
Oh,
none of them other people that we name hit the ball like Shohei Ohtani. So it doesn't even matter.
nah,
It doesn't even matter. But
nah.
it is a lot of teams that's in the power ranking purgatory right now. Now, we know that we really kept y'all this week. One last thing we must talk about before we go. So I was talking with Rob, and I put this topic down, and Rob was like, "Okay, I want you to explain this to me a little bit." So I want you guys to walk with me down the NFL path of what goes on whenever we look at quarterbacks, because quarterbacks are the ultimate winner, but they're also the ultimate scapegoat. Okay, and I'm going to start with these two examples. Okay, Patrick Mahomes, ultimate winner. We've talked about how he's done it with less, with just Travis Kelce. He had receivers who had the drops. They went back to back. They might go for a three-peat. Everything that goes right can be said that Patrick Mahomes gets a large part of why they won. Okay? But then on the flip side, we look at a team like the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? Dak Prescott, the ultimate scapegoat. Dak Prescott has won 12 games the past few years. He had arguably an MVP year last year. He lost in the playoffs, okay? The first thing that gets brought up is Dak Prescott, horrible quarterback. He's this, that, and the third. He's the reason that the Cowboys lose, okay? So today I stand on the hill and I'm going to stand by Dak Prescott. Not in blue and silver, though. Don't get your hopes up on that. So I'm going to stand here and say, if I'm other teams and Dak does not come to a contract negotiation, I am going to shake the tree and look to make the move on Dak Prescott, okay? And you may say, why? Why make the move on Dak Prescott? So I'm going to use another quarterback who just recently got paid. Rob, you had a guy in Minnesota named Kirk Cousins, right?
Maybe.
He used to win games, right?
Yeah.
Would you say he was the best guy for y'all whenever it came playoff time?
Yes.
That was a bad hesitant guess for everybody. So,
I will. Okay, without being long winded, I will say yes.
okay. So, he never really took y'all on a deep playoff run, correct?
No,
But yet we paid him every time, right?
it's the French we, but yeah, it's a we.
And then he goes to Atlanta and gets paid again, right?
Mhm.
But
Thank God.
nobody is talking about his lack of playoff victories, correct?
Not right now. Not when it happened. I would say that was the case. Not right now. Not right now.
Okay. But they got a guy named Dak Prescott. Now, granted, people say this is America's team, and I beg to differ that Kansas City is America's team right now. And they put him under the scrutiny. Granted, we're going to continue to say it's Dak's fault that they lose. I just want to throw this out there. Dak Prescott don't play defense, okay? Last time I checked, he throws the ball, okay? He does not, I repeat, he does not catch the ball, okay? Now, so 12-5 last year, right? He's had some 10 wins. He had a 13 win. Um, he was selected a Pro Bowl this year. He's 30 years old. This is not very old, we'll say, but it's not very old for quarterbacks. Okay? Second in MVP voting, 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns. Okay? 9 inter well, he threw 9 picks. Okay? 9 interceptions. He stayed under 10. 4-1 ratio. Okay? Yes, we're gonna look at completion percentage. He's almost 70%, 69.5%. Okay. He's ridiculed constantly. Like he plays defense. Okay. Now I'm not gonna say that he didn't throw picks in the playoffs. But what I'm also gonna say is he didn't give up 41 points in the playoffs. Recently, whenever we saw Dallas teammates on defense, other people criticizing Michael Parsons, we need to work on our rushing. Nobody is looking at how Dallas defense is or is not cohesive. Yes, they had some people hurt in the secondary, okay? This is true. But anytime Dallas lose, the first thing they do is go to blame Dak Prescott and everything he didn't do. Okay? And I here today, Price, Bruh Migos podcast, am gonna say, you've bet on yourself before, leave Dallas. Leave Dallas. Okay? Take your talent somewhere else and go and try and win somewhere else. I feel, and the reason that I feel this is this. Dallas is gonna fuck this up. Okay? I have nothing in my heart of heart will be better than to see you go somewhere else and make a playoff run or make a Super Bowl run and eke one out, and Dallas have to live with this, okay? Jerry Jones, I hope he leaves you. And not only do I hope he leaves you, I hope he wins the Super Bowl somewhere. And that trophy that you would have wrote a check to God to get bounces. It just bounces. God sound ain't take checks up here. Super Bowl miracles, don't even write them in. I hope he leaves and he goes somewhere. And I hope he makes a glorious run. Like Kurt Warner did back in the day. Except win. Okay? And I hope that you get nothing from this, Jerry. I hope that you have to suffer in silence and deal with the fact that he won somewhere else and not with you. Because every time you open up your mouth, you do nothing. And none of them, well, I'm going to say very few people, look to not blame him. it's always his fault. We never talk about the defense because during the regular season we say, man, that Dallas defense is something nice. We never talk about Dak throwing and making the right pass or anything like that. We talk about how good the Dallas defense was. But come playoff time, we just all of a sudden forget about that. Okay? And I'm going to use this one player's example before I hand this to Rob. Peyton Manning, I don't know if a lot of y'all realize, up until he won that Super Bowl, he had a losing playoff record. Okay? He had a losing playoff record. He was the antithesis. He was the pinnacle of what you call regular season quarterback. 14-2, 13-3, and then can't get it done in the playoffs.
Yep.
But yet y'all put him up there on the pedestal right now as one of the greatest quarterbacks who ever lived. Now you can definitely argue the point that Dak may not be as talented as him, but were they not having the same result in the playoffs? 4 or 5,000 yard seasons and then crash out come the playoffs? But we all know winning makes people forget about a lot of things. It always does. But Dak, I hope that you leave and go somewhere else and win. And I hope that Jerry Jones never sees that trophy because of how things are being run right now in Dallas. Go ahead, Rob.
So, as you were talking, I was thinking about, okay, Dak Prescott, where would you go? There's two teams I was thinking about, just two, actually three, but I don't know if the third is gonna happen. And these two teams are actually just so happen to be next to each other on the NFL.com listing of all teams. And for chaotic reasons, I want this now. The first team, the New Orleans Saints. Because we know, like granted, I didn't grow up in this region. You did. I just got it by marriage. Um Saints and Cowboys fans do not like each other in any sort of way. Like people
Hater.
look at like the Eagles versus the Cowboys. They'll look at like they'll look at the Eagles versus the Cowboys. Or I mean Giants versus the Cowboys, Eagles versus the Cowboys, the Commanders versus the Cowboys. They'll look at those. Saints and Cowboys is like it's up there with Saints and Falcons as far as like I really don't fuck with you and your kind of rivalries. Like Cowboys and Saints is one of those like I don't fucking like you kind of like rivalries. I fuck with you if we talking about us versus them. But between us, I really don't fuck with you in any way.
At
And
all.
it's because of the Cowboys being what they've been and the Saints being what they had been, you know, like and like the Cowboys being in the 90s, we know all they're winning. Basically, those two the only games that you could really watch if you in that region, you know, like within the South. Like, yeah, though, like that would be a funny place for Dak to go.
Yes,
And
it
I
would.
mean, granted, like they got Chris Olave, they got talent that's there that he could work with. So it ain't to where he's going in blind, but like I don't trust them to keep said talent because they always broke and they always over the cap. So I've never understand like how their contracts go. They always over the cap, always broke, never winning. They are a lottery winner's dream. The other team that I was thinking about, the Vegas Raiders. Granted, they got Devontae right now. And I that's aptly put right now. They got Jacoby Myers. They got Brock, they just drafted Brock Bowers. Like that would be an interesting place for him to go. I would like to see it. You know, it's one of those things like I would like to see how that would play out. And the reason why I just see those two teams because I can't see any other him going anywhere else. Like everybody else either has a plan or is basically like we gonna be a high draft pick, so we'll just go in the draft and pick out from there. Even though this draft is not really good for prospects, but or at least for quarterback prospects. But yeah, like those would be interesting. Those would be interesting teams I could see him going to.
Yeah, I just want to see him leave. I want to see him leave and go somewhere and win. Because if he wins, then it's like I've said, it's Jerry Jones. It's being a Dallas Cowboy. Okay? And there's people who don't want to hear that, but I don't give a damn. You know why? Because I'm tired of y'all. I just am. I'm tired of you guys. I'm tired of ESPN. I'm tired of all of the people who push the narrative of everything that's wrong with him, and we don't look at the team. We just fail to look at that. Every single time we fail to look at this. We pay this no mind. We glance over. Nobody talks about the 41 points. Like I said, he plays offense, not defense. Okay? And you can say, oh, he put us in bad positions. But whenever they are in a good position, what happens? Either somebody doesn't make a play, somebody doesn't catch the ball, or we act like this is all his fault. Okay? I don't know about you, Rob, but I know some teams that would be willing to have a quarterback that completes almost 70% of his passes. You know? That's just me. And New Orleans, if you were to take Dak Prescott and he was to bring the city of New Orleans another Super Bowl, I just would like you to know, Dallas, that would be the equivalent to shoving a stake in a vampire's heart. And I promise you, Jerry Jones might croak that day. He might.
I still love you, Cowboys fan. I just wanted to say that.
He might love y'all, but I don't. I just know. It's just
I didn't want that to be overlooked. I still love you.
I just don't like y'all. And it ain't because I'm a Saints fan. I just don't like y'all. That's it. But with that being said, it's Rob. And you know me, Price. Bro Migos Podcast. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Rob, take us on out.
All right. Good night, Taylor Swift. Good night, Canada. Rest in peace, Jacoby Jones.
Definitely.
Found out he passed away today, or the news of him passing away was released today. Thoughts and prayers to the family. Also, Richard Simmons, Dr. Ruth. They basically passed away this weekend as well. Shannon Doherty heard the news this morning that she passed away from Charmed and not. What'd you say?
90210.
Yep. She passed away today, and so or the news of her passing today. So there's a lot of death. So yeah, man, like, hey, things happen. I don't want to sound callous, but like it's sad, you know, and hopefully peace to all the families, you know, that are going to that, peace to all the friends, close ones to these people. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are gonna make it through this. So but we in Ramigos Podcast, you know, we don't fuck with death, but we fuck with y'all. So the not bad segue, but shout out to Dubby, DUBBY, W Energy. I actually just bought some hydration packs. So they should be coming in sometime this week, I want to say. So shout out to y'all. Use the promo code BRAMigosPod. You can see it at the bottom, BRAMigosPod. Get 10% off of when you buy. Support the people that support us. You know, get yourself some W. It's a lot of, you know, get your energy back up with a lot of this bad news and everything like that, man. Get yourself some energy. Get yourself some hydration. Get yourself a W.
Yeah. And with that being said, we're out of here, guys. Peace.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Bra Amigos Podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.